Hey everybody, it's Death the Mudkip, and today we're going to be going over Pokemon Sienna version, which is a ROM hack of Gen 3, of course, of the infamous Fire Red. So right off the bat, the name was interesting to me, and I saw that Lugia was the cover art, so I was like, ooh, I want to play this one. As always, I'm naming myself Dolan, I've checked the PC, I've taken out the item, and now I've got to name my rival. Subscribe doesn't fit, so I'll name him after a friend of mine. I'm going to name him Brandon, because, you know, why not? So the story in this ROM hack is that I sent away to be part of trainer school, and I was actually rejected from trainer school because I wasn't good enough. But the professor feels bad for me and is like, hey, I'm going to give you a Pokemon so you can go run an errand for me. Looking at these Fakemon, we have a choice between Confant the water elephant, Mukano the fire cow, and Grammet the grass monkey. I decided to go with Grammet, and I'm naming him Subscribe. Kind of wish I had gone with Mukano, but you know, decisions were made. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, click the subscribe button for Grammet. I know it'd make him feel better. And check this out. So at this point in time, the professor grabs one of the starters that weren't chosen and battles us to show us how battles work. But funny enough, he doesn't give us a Pokédex. We go show off our new Pokemon to our rival Brandon, and he's like, hey, I've got 2 Pokédex, here you go. And now we're in the catching tutorial, and what the hell was that? So when they make Fakemon in these games, they have to replace Pokemon. I know that my starter was replaced with Bulbasaur, but was that rock replaced with Geodude? And also, there are some wild-looking Pokemon here, but after a little bit of searching around, I come across this, centipede thing called Isopoli. I'm going to name him Scooter, and I'm going to add it to the team for now. I also come across this thing. This is another weak bug type, but I kind of like the way it looked. Its name is Aurafly. I'm going to name it Flutter, because it floats, flutters. So. Bug and bug poison. So these are the Caterpie and the Weedle replacements for this game, from what I can tell. My guess is this Kiwi Pokemon I just picked up, replacement for Pidgey, I'm naming it Birdo. And Flutter just evolved, which makes sense. If it is Caterpie, Caterpie evolves level 5 or 6. Then we've got this squirrel I caught, Squirrin. That's got to be Rattata. Then we come across this dog. I've been in this patch for a while. This looks like a Schnauzer. Its name is Schnatzupps. So yeah, we're going to name it Borkley. So from that point, we run into Brandon, and he decides to battle us. He starts off with a Snorunt. That's a pretty cool starter. Oh, and he's got Mukano. Interesting. After we defeat Brandon, we move on to a bug catcher who has Weedle and Caterpie. So there goes my theories on that. Anyway, we're going to stock up on some Pokeballs. We come across this little rabbit named Magit. Anyway, I'm going to name it a Mazo. I think this is like an Abra. Oh my god, it's a shiny. And just like that, a Mazo was replaced, because I do not plan on leaving this thing behind. I'm going to name this one Tricks, because tricks are for kids, you silly rabbit. Yep, that is definitely a shiny. Gonna take that and put it on the team. Bye, Amazo. From there, we run into a trainer named Max, who's our unofficial second rival. He had a Pokemon that looks like it was a clone of a Diglett sprite. Then we run into the president of the Devon Corp. He asks us to give a letter to Professor Maple, and Professor Maple rewards us with a Pokénav, which is weird because I didn't think the Pokénav was on Fire Red, but okay. So now the story progresses. Looks like we're dealing with Team Rocket in this game, and Team Rocket has a secret hideout in the woods that we're entering. New woods equals new Fakemon, like you just saw that topiary looking thing. So as of right now, my team's not very balanced, so I'm going to pick up a few new Pokemon in this area. I grabbed a Vampy and named it Trunks. Now that I think about it, I've never used a Murkrow either, so I'm going to pick up this Murkrow. I'm going to name it Luna. I may switch her for Birdo, who oh my god, it's a Mudkip. You guys already know what we got to do. Death the Mudkip's got to have a Mudkip named Death. That just happens to be how it is. I know I use Mudkip a lot. I'm sorry. It's my channel. I have to. Alright, so actually, maybe I don't have to, but god damn it, I like Mudkip. I know you like Mudkip too. Let's use it. After picking up a few more Pokemon in the forest here, we end up starting to evolve the Pokemon in our party. You know, most starters have an easy early Evo. What's wild to me is I've already evolved 4 Pokemon, and I don't even have my first badge yet. So, yeah, Tricks evolved. Everyone's almost up to level 20, and we're almost done with the forest. I just want to say, so far, I'm rather impressed. I'm enjoying the amount of Fakemon, the amount of variety of Pokemon in general. There's a nice type coverage. You can pretty much build any team you really wanted, and I enjoy that. I think so far this ROM hack is shaping up very well. I also highly recommend you give this ROM hack a try if you're looking to try something different, yet fun. It really feels like this could have been its own game, which is rare to see in a ROM hack, where it encompasses enough difference that it feels like it's its own thing, and not just a sloppy copy and paste. So gotta give the creator props on this, because I hate when ROM hacks are kind of corny and it just feels like, don't force it, don't make it weird, it's just a Pokemon game. We run into Steven Stone, and after delivering a letter that we were asked to give to him, he gives us a Sunstone. Super ironic. Then we move on to the gym, and the gym is normal type. That's a very interesting way to start things off. They did the same thing in Gen 5 when they made Black and White 2. The first gym was a normal gym, and Sharon was actually the gym leader from the original games, which that was a nice touch too. But we're not here to talk about Black and White 2. We make quick work of the first gym, and we get our first gym badge. We run into Max, and he gives us a Pokemon egg. Neat, right? Can't wait to see what's inside that egg. We come across this Fakemon, which I kind of like, and we're going to catch, and we're going to end up naming this thing Chili, because it's a nice type. I think they hacked this Fakemon in over Seal and Dugong, but I could be wrong, so, I guess we'll see if we see one. Oh, and I came across a Trico. I don't plan on using Trico, but, it's a starter. Gotta catch it. So we named the Trico Gex because, 90s reference, ha. The egg hatches, but Licky. We're gonna name it Slurp, though. I looked it up. I'm sorry, I cheated at this point. I looked up to see what it evolves into. It's not a licking tongue. It evolves into like a water-type variation of licking tongue. And honestly, I already got Death the Mudkip on the team, even though now he's a Marshtomp. I don't really want him. Then I come across this fire spider thing, which is fire and bug type, and I name it Sexpa Bomb because it looks literally like a bomb. So I was like, this is awesome. I'm a little less sore now about not picking Mukano, and looking over the team, we're really starting to shape up. We got a lot of type coverage here. Some are dual type, which is awesome. Another fun little thing about this ROM hack, Sienna version reintroduces the headbutt mechanic from Gen 2. So if you find the proper tree, you can headbutt it. I did it a couple times, didn't find anything better than what I already had on the team, so I decided not to add anything to replace it. After we beat Brandon, we head over to the game corner and check out the prize Pokemon, and would you look at that, Mudkip's on the prize tier. I feel kind of special now. I feel like I've achieved something very small in this game. So heading over to the next gym, we have to go to a cave where everyone is training. It's a fighting type gym. We encounter a Duglug. I catch it. It's female, so I name it Drilla. From here, we're going to work our way through the trainers, and then we're going to get some kind of held item. It was either the Focus Sash or the Black Belt. I can't remember, but yeah, we just have to plow our way through these trainers, and then we're going to head over and fight the gym leader until we tell him we defeated the cave and collected the item. It was actually kind of an interesting quest for a gym. I wish Pokemon would do more stuff like this. I guess they technically did in Scarlet and Violet. I'm just saying this was kind of refreshing before it was seen in a mainline game. Also, if I haven't made it clear enough, I am sorry I've been gone so long, but I did put over 200 hours already into Violet and about 45 into Scarlet, so I've actually, for games I wasn't impressed on originally and excited for, I ended up loving very much. So yeah, all distractions aside, we beat Jacob. I think he was the second gym leader, if I remember correctly. I played this shit like September of 2022, and it's 2023 now, so what does that tell you? Anyway, I did another one of these side missions. I'm heading over to the third gym, which, by the way, that's like my only complaint about this game. Finding the third gym was a bitch. It's in my hometown. You get to the third gym, you run into your secondary rival, whose name is Max. He asks you to go to the Pokemart to pick up his package, and he's too weak to go get it himself. You go get it, he heals his Pokemon, and then jumps you. So we have to thrash him before we go into the gym. Like, I get it, you need a rival battle, sure, but just the way, like, bitch move. Bitch move. And then we get to the third gym here, which is a fire-type gym, and it has kind of like a similar setup to Norman's gym in Pokemon Sapphire, Ruby, and Emerald version. I know I said those out of order, but doesn't matter. And oh my god, I don't know what that was, but I want one. It's got a water and fire type. It's a rubber duck with a flaming tail. Holy shit. Sorry, totally got distracted. I actually forgot that thing existed. It's been so long since I've played it. I like that Fakemon. Just gonna say that. But yeah, the gym essentially was like, beat a trainer, a door opens. Beat a trainer, a door opens, which is good. We need XP, whatevs. And this gym leader, not gonna lie, for being a child, kind of beat my ass. Not just a little bit there. You saw I got all the way down to, death was our final Pokemon. Guess I just need to train more, or at least work on my type disadvantages. Not important. What is important is I just caught a Tyrogue. I named it Scrappy. I'm a huge fan of Tyrogue. It's from Gen 2. I thought it was so cool as a kid growing up. And then I come across the Silver Wing, which is like the key item from Pokemon Silver that helps you a chance to battle Lugia in the Johto games and hopefully catch it. So, that means Lugia is the box art Pokemon for this game, which means we're going to be catching one later, hopefully, maybe. I don't actually remember, so yeah. From this point, the game kind of recycles the museum plot from Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, where the enemy team is held up in a museum. You gotta go in there and beat a few grunts, and then go talk to a scientist. From there, the new enemy leader of Team Rocket jumps us, and he's like, you'll never get the legendary Pokemon, especially not before us, you punk-ass kid. And I'm like, try again. I don't have a bowl cut like this to not get the legendary Pokemon, you dick. It's integral stuff. The scientist is researching legends, and they're like, hey, us too, fam. And I'm like, what a coincidence. I guess 3's a party. like, nah, dog, Three's company. And I'm like, fuck. So, I chase him off. I ruin his date with this weird orgy he was having, and he tells me about how to find more legendary Pokemon. From there, I talk to a hiker who's like, oh, I dropped my glasses. Can you find him? And I'm like, oh, sure. Another quest? Sure thing, man. And then the game jumps like 50 frames ahead, and it's like, Team Rocket just captured Lugia. And I'm like, the hell? Didn't even give me a chance. But you know what they say, when Arceus closes a door, he opens a window, because I came across that ducky. Not only did I catch it, I named her Quackers. Probably not going to use Quackers, though, because I already have a fire type in Sex Bomb, but I caught a Quackers. Oh, and Scrappy evolved, but, Scrappy became what essentially is just a Hitmonchan. I don't dislike Hitmonchan, but Hitmonlee's so much cooler. From here, I go into the Safari Zone, I just start catching stuff. Oh, shit. You don't know how many times it took me to catch this Shuritox. It's a ninja Pokemon, and I like it very much. I named it Ooze because it's a poison type, and I don't regret anything. I caught a bunch of other Pokemon in the Safari Zone, like a Kangaskong, that Magnemite, this Milk Tank, but I didn't really want to use any of them, I liked having them. Oh, look at that, that's the final form of that egg thing that Max gave us. It's like a licking tongue who's a chef that, if I had to guess, is water type because it spits, which is kind of actually gross if you think about it, but it's creative. I'll give it 8.7 out of 10, too much water. That's a really shitty reference, and I'm sorry you had to hear that. Please don't hate me. But hey, Birdo evolved. I didn't expect it to evolve again. I was thinking it was like a spear, but only had the 2 stages, And then we make it out of this cave, and we're challenged by Jacob, the gym leader, who, for some reason, is sporting a Regirock. I mean, it's kind of cool when other, NPCs capture a legendary. They're like, oh, check out the beef on my team, man. But it's like, why you do that? Why you not leave that for me? Not important. We beat him. We're moving on. I caught this weird thing. I feel like it's a Fakemon they used maybe Grumpig's Sprite for. I named him Scoops because of his arms. And we're on to the next gym, which is an electric type gym. So I guess it's just kind of a shitty clone of Watson's gym from Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, but that's okay. Not everything has to be super original and complex. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. And Pokemon's meant to be a good time, not a challenging time. Unless you're 7. Which I am not. I mean, my inner child's 7. 7 3/4 to be specific. But we're way off topic here. Point of the matter is, we stop a few more Pikachus and Raichus, and we're on to the gym leader. And also Sex Bomb evolved, but I don't really like his newer sprite. I enjoyed him so much more with that cynical grin and his little comical wick on his head, but whatever. And then right before we won the 3rd gym badge, Chili evolved, which was also cool. I definitely enjoyed Chili's new sprite, so yay! Then I do another one of those there side quests, and I end up getting HM3 for capturing some guy's Tauros, which I could keep. I did check that route, but I didn't. I gave him the Tauros back, and he gave me Surf, so I was like, that's a fair trade. Which is funny, because Tauros can learn Surf, but whatevs. On to the next gym, and it looks like it's a Dark-type gym, hence why it's set up in a cave. And actually, the gym leader's dad is there, and he's like, hey, if you beat my son, I'll give you a prize, because he doesn't ever come home anymore. And family's important, too. Wait a minute. Was that Vin Diesel standing outside the gym? Because nothing's more important than family. Yeah, I know, these memes are outdated. Please don't unsubscribe. Please don't. I promise these get better. I really do. I think this was an interesting choice. It took up to 8 generations before we had an official Dark-type gym leader. So, that was kind of cool. Also, look at this Fakemon. It's like, I feel like it's using Darkrai sprite. I know it's not fully, but do you not see it? Is it just me? Let me know in the comments down below. Thing looks like a ripoff of Darkrai. And with that, we beat the ninja-themed gym leader, and he's got to go home to his family. And we go talk to his dad, and his dad's like, thanks, fam, here's a bike voucher. So, we got the bike. Oh yeah, and then I found another shiny! Those little character GIF reactions on screen, that's how I actually felt. I usually don't get super hyped on shinies, but that one popped up out of nowhere, and I was like, oh my god! So, yeah, I really actually like this shiny, so I was like, holy shit, you're going on the team. Originally, I wanted to name it Gojira, then I realized it wasn't a boy. Godzilla was a boy last time I checked, I think. So, I'm gonna go with Lilith, the demon mother, because it's a pseudo-legendary, and it's gonna be a bad mother when I'm done training it, which, by the way, it already evolved into Pupitar, so that just goes to show you how dedicated I am to making this indestructible beast of a kaiju. We do some more story stuff, then we come across this house, which I felt was important to notate, because this house is Max's family's house. And when Max isn't out in the world being a dickhead to us, he's sitting here at his family's home, giving out evolutionary stones, so, very nice. I took one of each stone just to see if anything in my party evolved again. Shocker, it didn't, but you know what? That's kind of cool. I'm going to give the creator another point here. I like that feature. It makes it feel like you really could build any kind of team, because, it's kind of a pain in the ass when you play these ROM hacks. You're not guaranteed to find an evolutionary stone. Kind of stunts your team's growth. In other news, my starter subscribe, which if you haven't done it, ding, 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 it's time. Click that button. You've been here long enough. Okay, all peer pressuring aside, though, subscribe evolved into its final form, and it's so ugly. He had so much potential when he was young. Oh, Grammit. I think your name was Grammit. I can't. Should have gone with Mukano. Mistakes were made. I'm just gonna have to own that one. Anyway, we're on to the next gym here, and this is a psychic gym. It's like a clone of Sabrina's gym with a mix of Giovanni's gym. So, all the strong psychic types with all the annoying ass floor puzzles that push you in directions you never wanted to go in. It's the worst of both worlds. Anyway, with that being said, after we got our gym badge, Trix evolved into its final form, and I happened to come across an Articuno. But not before I dealt with that weird, questionable Ditto Fakemon jelly cube thing. And of course, Death the Marshtomp has evolved into his final form, so now he's Death the Swampert. And thank God this wasn't a Nuzlocke, because after probably 14 tries, I captured Articuno and I named it Chills. I was going to name him Chili, then I stopped and remembered I had Chili on my team at one point, and I kind of felt it was disrespectful. Anyway, I come across this NPC who told me I can't battle him unless I have at least one open space in my Pokemon team. He says he's Riley from the Sinnoh region. I think he's from that movie that has Lucario as the main character. It's like the Tree of Life and the Aura of Bullshit. I don't know, I never saw it. I just know, it was like the debut movie for Lucario. Anyway, we beat him, and then he gives us a choice between a starter Pokemon from the Sinnoh region. This is dope. This is the kind of shit we should be seeing more often in Pokemon games. I picked Turtwig. Out of all the Sinnoh starters, Turtwig's my favorite. Chimchar's a close second, but I've always had a fond spot for Turtwig. I can't explain it. Don't judge me, or do judge me. How about this? If you are going to judge me, leave a comment down below because it's good for the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? Okay, if you don't, though. It's only my feelings you're hurting. So in the time frame that all happened, I ended up finding my rival again, the original rival, who gave me the Pokedex. I think I named him Brandon or Brundon, something like that. Anyway, I run into him, I thrash him good, I find a daycare, and they have this cheeky little pun. They've been watching Pokemon since '69. Yeah, I'm not gonna do a fake laugh, but all bullshit aside, we move on to the next gym. It's a bird gym. I like that the bird gym's later on in the game. It gives them a real chance to show off that Fakemon they made specifically for this game, which I named Birdo. Who is a bad bitch, by the way. I don't love the design, but I like the fact that it becomes Steel-type in its final evolution. So, if I didn't mention that before, I'm mentioning it now. So we're getting to that tail-end stretch of the game where there's only a couple gyms left. I think actually only one, if I counted correctly here. And then we got a lot of the story-based aspects to take on here. Essentially, we're told that Team Rocket's capturing another legendary Pokemon. For some reason, they're just after all these legendary Pokemon. So we're going to follow this asshole into this cave who's going to catch a Fakemon legendary. It looks similar to Articuno's overworld sprite, but it just seems like something's a little wrong. It seems like, like that Chinese knockoff, like the Digimon to Pokemon, you feel me? And then we're on to the last gym, and I just gotta say, I fucked up. I don't know how or where I fucked up, but I fucked up because I didn't catch that dragon, and that thing is amazing. Oh, if I play it again, I'm gonna Google how to find that dragon, because that thing is chef's kiss. Oh, marvelous, 10 out of 10. That's how you make a Fakemon. Damn, I have put 60 hours into this game already. But I've gotten all the badges, so it'd be off to the Pokemon League, except 1, had to evolve Lilith to her final form, and 2, we're borrowing a plot line from the Johto games where I have to go and deal with a radio station, except this time it's a TV station. I get to dress up as a Team Rocket member. That's straight out of the Heart Gold Soul Silver games. And now I'm heading to a forest to help take over grunt duty, because we're guarding some mythical or legendary Pokemon that happens to be dwelling in this forest, but not before we're jumped by Team Rocket grunt members who don't believe that we're actually a grunt. I'm saying the word grunt a lot, it's starting to lose its meaning. So we fight our way through these Team Rocket grunts. Yep, I said it again, I'm sorry. I promise I'll stop. So that we can protect the legendary Pokemon by enslaving it ourselves. Yes, because they can't have it, it's mine. And, this actually was a really easy capture. That was like the first try, no bullshit, no cap, as the kid would say. Looks kind of like Meep from Phineas and Ferb, so I'm going to name it Moop. I'm replacing Trix on my team with Moop. We're going to go kick this base's ass in the name of Moop! So if you haven't noticed by now, this base is just a reskin of the Slowco. Slivco? However you say it, I want to say it's Silphco. I can tell you it's like my least favorite dungeon in Pokemon in general. I have been through it more than enough times. Enough that I should remember it, but it's not like vital information, so my brain doesn't store it. So I begrudgingly force my way through it like always and just bulldoze my way through people until I finally find the right connectors, telepads, or doors, depending on what this puzzle actually is. I'd willingly nominate this for one of the top 3, being up there with Rock Tunnel without Flash and the original Victory Road in general, which is not as terrible as much as it was a pain in the ass just because you have to push those boulders everywhere, but now I'm just complaining. And if we're really going to complain, let's complain about the Icicle Cave and Pokemon Gold and Silver and how hard that maze was for children. Took me probably a month to get through that. I was a C student, so enough judging. Anyway, see, I told you that thing was a Ditto clone. Sorry, I totally jumped ship there. But you saw that weird jelly cube thing. Use Transform. I was right. Making my way through Silphco, walking fast, rockets pass, and I'm beating their ass. Da-na-na-na-na-na. After many identical battles, we find our way to the final part of the building where the scientist is being held captive. So now, Team Rocket's new leader and his not grunt executive is like, hey, screw you, let's battle. So this part here is less of a complaint and more of an observation than anything. For somebody who's played the Pokemon games time and time again, in the part of the original story, when you go to Silphco, Giovanni is chasing the Master Ball because he plans to go and capture Mewtwo, you know, the legendary. At least that's kind of like where the lore leads us. But in here, this Pokemon trainer, the leader of the new Rockets, he's already captured 2 legendaries. So why is he at Silphco, not Silphco, trying to take the Master Ball, not Master Ball that we just got? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, who cares about plot? We're so far into this game, it's like 65 hours in, and I found a Moltres. And here's me just throwing balls at it. I mean, so many balls you think I was like a Poke-rapist, because it just took ball after ball to the face. I named it Flare, and I went through Victory Road, and bada bing, bada boom, it's the Pokemon League! Which I do have to say, we had some interesting choices here. The first trainer is Will, just like in the Johto games. So since we're fighting Psychic type, Ghost, Dark, and Bug moves are going to be our best friend, meaning Sexbomb and Lilith have this entire thing in the bag. Which now that I think about it, it's very possible that yes, one of the main Elite Four may have moved on to another land and became an Elite Four member there. However, our next trainer is Koga, which, if I remember correctly, it went Will, Koga, Bruno, and then Karen in the Johto Elite Four. So I'm starting to see some similarities here, minus their Fakemon choices. Anyone else kind of pick up what I'm putting down? I know it doesn't have to be super believable, but if this is a whole new region, shouldn't we have a whole new Elite Four? Or at least, if we're going to have Elite Four members from other places, why are they all just the Pokemon trainers from Gold version or Silver version? Another small complaint, but this is very minuscule compared to like other ROM hacks that have huge glaring flaws. You should still give this ROM hack a try. Don't let me talk you out of it. Because honestly, the lack of bugs, the Fakemon, the overall rewriting of the story, the new sprite, there's so many good things about this ROM hack. I could go on, but I highly recommend you check it out. Honestly, this is one of my favorite ROM hacks, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. Very believable. You know, minus a few minute plot details here and there, very believable. I was pretty enticed with it. I mean, hell, I put 60, 70 hours in this game, so you tell me. No, for real, tell me. So we're going to heal up here, and then we're on to the champion, and oh, look at that! They switched the script. It's not Lance, it's Gold. He's got his canonically accurate team? Gasp. And you know, I'm glad it wasn't Lance, because his Dragonites are a bitch. But this wasn't a walk in the park either. He had not one, but 2 legendaries. And not only 2 legendaries, but 2 of the strongest legendaries out of Johto. I had my work cut out for me, but let me tell you, I wasn't going to go down without a fight. And, you know, he may have whomped my team pretty hard, but there's something I learned a long time ago. I want you to imagine Lance with this real shit-eating grin on his face.
You don't get to be champion of the Pokemon League without knowing how to spam Full Restore!
And remember, it's not a Nuzlocke, so even if it was, I still make the rules. But it's not, so, So yeah, it's a little bit of a power struggle here and there, but eventually we take the W, and we whoop Gold. Which, hey, you know what's kind of funny? They took a page out of the later Pokemon games books, and after you beat the champion, you get a little bit of that post-game action. Just think about it. Once I become champion here, I didn't deal with Team Rocket. I didn't save Lugia, or that Fakemon that looked like a tripped out Articuno, which I think is like Galliite? I don't know what the hell it is. But essentially here the professor's telling me, instead of like, hey, congratulations, you've gone through a hard, long challenge, it's like, hey, get your ass over to heaven and save these Pokemon. So, gonna hit that Hall of Fame with 70 hours. Sheesh! We're on to the very final part of the game. This Fever Dream Dungeon, which, it's just clouds and sky, so I'm gonna save you the suspense. Even though Lugia is actually the Pokemon on, like, the art when you hit start and, like, the game boots up, Lugia is not the final Pokemon. The final Pokemon was that Fakemon. Growlite? You're gonna see its name. I don't know it. I didn't care enough to learn it, because again, this was like the end of the game. So, this was the last thing I did in this game. I worked my way up to the final boss. I'm gonna fight him. He's gonna give me a hell of a time. And then he's gonna let me try to capture the final Pokemon, which you know, I have a Master Ball, so you kinda know how that's gonna go. I forgot to mention, like, a third Pokemon shows up and teases, like, hey, this is the Trio of Legend. You get a really good, you get a real small glimpse of the sprite, then it vanishes. I guess I could have gone to find it after this, but I was just kind of done, so it didn't really matter. It wasn't that this game wasn't interesting, it's just I had other games to work on and other video projects to do, so it just didn't happen. Besides, what kind of YouTuber would I be if I took away all the fun and surprises from you if you weren't going to play this game for yourself? Maybe you were. I don't know, it's completely up to you. Regardless, so I just want to say thank you for watching. If you hadn't subscribed, maybe consider doing so now. I have way more Pokemon content coming. I'm just tired, and I'm one person who runs multiple channels. But that's my own fault. Anyway, check back in next week. I've got another ROM hack we're going to be doing, and hopefully it'll be uploaded by then. I hope. Either way, though, this has been Death the Mudkip, signing off. Oh, before I go, I guess I should mention, I'm in the process of rebuilding a PC I was given for free, so I've got a computer friend who's real techie. They're helping me buy parts. I'm slowly putting this thing together. When it's all done and said, I should be able to stream off of it, so maybe when that's finished, I'm going to open up a Twitch account, and you can come play Pokemon with me on there, and we'll just kind of stream stuff together and shiny hunt, and yeah, maybe that's kind of where I'm hoping to take this channel, so we'll see in the future. Lastly, I'd like to take just a moment to thank you for your viewership. I appreciate you watching this video. I hope maybe once or twice I made you smile or giggle. If I did, that's awesome. Maybe toss me a like, just let me know in a comment, hey, I kind of enjoyed it. If not, that's cool too. You hung out till the end, and I appreciate you. Have a fantastic day.